Hi, I'm Frieda, and guess what? I got one of these. It's called the Instant Pot Immersion Circulator. I have never tried one of these before, and do you know what this does? This helps you do what is called sous vide cooking. Sous vide is the French word for under vacuum. No, this doesn't do any vacuuming, but it will let you do sous vide style cooking by regulating the temperature of your water. This is going to be the unboxing of this cool kitchen tool, and I can't wait to use it. Looks like it's packed very, very well. And I see the user manual right here. I'm curious to know how big it is. This is what nicely cushioned and what looks like a very heavy foam packing. But before I take a look at this, I want to take a look at the user manual. Looks like it has 3 sections in here. The first section is in English, the next one is in French, and the last part is in Spanish. So you don't need to read this whole manual. It's very, very short from what I can understand. So let's get started. Now we have the immersion circulator. I'm going to pull it out. And it doesn't feel very heavy, but I was wondering how it compared in size to my immersion blender. It's about the same size. It's a little bit thicker and heavier, but you know what? You're not going to be using or holding this tool like you would this one. So that was just for size purposes. So it looks like it has a short cord and a display here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it plugged in and get it set up and show you how to do that. Be back in a few minutes. First is a cutting board just to protect the surface of my counter. I have a 6-quart vessel or container that is filled with 4 quarts of water, and it's just straight from the tap. And I have my thermometer here that's registering my water to be about 83 degrees. So I forgot to tell you that it comes with this clip, and you can clip it on any container that you want. It could be a larger one or a smaller one, and you can even use your Instant Pot liner. So this has a screw that simply connects to the side of your pot. Just make sure it's snug. And then the immersion circulator has a maximum line and a minimum line. You need a minimum of water above these holes right here, because that's where the immersion circulator draws in the water and heats it up and spits it back out, keeping an even constant temperature for your cooking. So I'm going to just clip that in there, plug it in. Okay, the water level is fine, it's above the holes, and it's well below the maximum line. Now, look at the buttons on here. We've got the temperature and the clock, plus, minus, and this is the start and stop button. This is the mode. You switch back between the clock and the temperature. It defaults to 133 degrees, so if I push the mode, the temperature flashes, and I could change the temperature to higher or lower. We're going to try 135 today. Then I'm going to check the time. Most cooking times for sous vide style cooking are anywhere between an hour to 4 to 6 hours, although you can go longer for some recipes. And it looks like it's already started on its own. If you want to stop it, you can push that button or start it up again. Can you hear it? It is extremely quiet. You can see the ripples across the water here. What I'm going to do is let this go till it reaches 135 degrees. Remember, it started at 83 degrees. I want to see how long it takes to get to that temperature and then test it with my instant read thermometer. Okay, I started my temperature about 83 degrees and it took about 8 or 9 minutes before it reached 135 degrees. I'm going to test it with my digital thermometer and see what the temperature is. I'm hoping it's going to say 135. 134.7.9, 134.9. That is pretty amazing. It's really, really close. I think this is probably more accurate than this. But oh, this says 135.1. This is amazing. This is great. This will help me get my foods perfectly cooked all throughout. I can't wait to try this on my next recipe, so stay tuned.